Hi, my name's Thomas. Last week sometime, like 11 different federal agencies came in here. There are like 70 different agencies. I was outside with my case manager, making a phone call to someone back home, trying to rebuild some relationships. That's one of the things I'm working on here at Sovereign. And like all these different cops show up, IRS, CI, like I don't even know who exactly came in, but they were very rude and disrespectful. They said that we couldn't even go back inside to get our stuff. We couldn't go inside to use the bathroom. Like I was about to wet my pants. Like I had to go so bad, and they couldn't even escort me inside. Seeing how they treated the staff who are here to help us was really messed up. A lot of people here actually care. They know our stories. We interact. We have built a relationship over the time that I've been here. And just seeing them treated like criminals when they did nothing wrong was really shook a lot of people up here. I was able to maintain kind of a balance within myself, but seeing all my friends and the people I've met here, it was really messed up. There are people here trying to get us to leave Sovereign get us in new treatment centers. I asked one of the people, I was trying to figure out what was going on, and I forget who it was or what department he was with, but he's like, I'm not here to answer your questions. He got really rude and disrespectful with me. They were talking about the staff who I see every single day, and like talking bad about them, and it really upset me. It was really frustrating. I got to California April 10th. It's not my first time in treatment. I've been in and out quite a few times throughout my life, and so obviously there's an underlying issue. I have my first child on the way though, and when I first got out here, I mean, that was a huge motivation for me, but in my time being here, I've realized that I can't get clean for anyone else, not even my child. I have to get clean for myself. And anyways, I went through detox for a little bit. I went to a sober living house, and their IOP program referred me to Sovereign, and I was all about the sober living house I was in, and I mean, it was great. I was living like 2 minutes from the Hollywood sign over in LA, and I really didn't want to come here at first, honestly, and I was planning an intentional relapse, and I had tears in my eyes. And so when I met one time, for probably not even 5 minutes, he worked at the place I was at. He was our driver. He came in and he talked to me, and I was brutally honest with him, and he's like, you just need to trust that God has a bigger plan, that everything happens for a reason. And so I was like, okay, I'll try it out. Because anytime I take my shit back in my own hands, I sink and I fall hard. And the first day I got here, my house manager took us all to a meeting, and it was on the third step, which is give your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand Him. And that really hit home. I got to Sovereign April 25th, and I've been making a lot of progress, especially with my therapist. She's really awesome, really empathetic. She cares, listens, gives great advice. Really, pretty much anyone here who comes around, if you need someone to talk to, they're here for you. Especially other people who are in treatment with me, because they kind of understand where you're coming from. They're in the same exact boat. So we like to help each other out here. I talk to the patient advocates. Been meeting with my sponsor. Once you kind of get up the phases, you're allowed to go to meetings. They take you to meetings. And not only have I been getting a lot out of AA, NA, the meetings, I've been getting a lot out of my time here at Sovereign. Anytime I've been at treatment before, I never really took it seriously. I never put my all into it. But actually doing this, I've seen a huge change in myself, and so have the people around me. And people always remind me about it, and it feels good to have that recognition, like, hey, you're doing what you have to. You're doing good. You're going down the right path. And I'm just grateful to be here and the people I have here. We normally have a roommate. There's a few certain instances where people have a single bed in the room, but most of the time we have a roommate. which is actually kind of a good thing I've experienced because you grow with that person. You grow with your whole house. They always have food in them. They always have pretty much anything we need, even snacks, like anything. House managers are always there to talk to us. They take us to meetings. We kind of build a relationship with them. And as you go through the phases, IOP, PHP, RTC, all of them, you change houses, and it is kind of tough sometimes, but like I was saying, when I first got here on the third step, you just have to trust that God has a higher plan for you and that everything's happening for a reason. Houses are well monitored. It's just good. We come here, we just switched our programming. Instead of having 45-minute groups, we have hour-and-a-half groups now. So we have less groups throughout the day, but we have more time in those groups to really get everything out, have everyone have an opportunity to share. It really kind of encourages more of like a treatment-oriented situation. It encourages more people to share, gets everyone involved, not just a few people. But we get here about 8 every day. Certain, like RTC gets here later, but we come here, get here at 8. Our driver brings us here. We go up to group, or go into group, stay in there for a bit. We have a little break, have another group, and then we have lunch. We have a personal chef. He cooks us lunch every day. I actually personally go in there and help him normally. Like just interacting with different people. It kind of lifts my spirit, helping other people. And then because I'm IOP, after lunch I go home, but other groups, or like PHP, RTC, they stay until 3 or 4, I believe. Like I started out at RTC and I've worked my way up to IOP. They really specialize on your individual needs and the level of care you're at. For a long time, when I was first getting involved in everything, I didn't think I had an issue. And it's all on an individual basis. Addiction is when it's causing serious life issues for you personally. If you were, like for me, it took me losing almost everything to finally realize that, hey, I can't keep living like this. Some people, they're just not ready, but if I had any advice to give, I'd say, get it out of the way while you still can. Get the help before you're like 40. I'm only 22 myself, and I'm glad that I'm getting it now. Last year when I was in treatment, I couldn't possibly imagine living the rest of my life without drugs, and only a year later, I can't even imagine my life smoking another joint. And I still used to struggle with that even when I first got here, but I don't need that stuff in my life. Always be honest, not only with the people around you, but with yourself down to the core. Being in treatment really helps you out in multiple areas of your life. They have family therapy where you can kind of rebuild lost connections, because a lot of us in our youth, we burn a lot of bridges. I burnt most of my bridges while I was still standing on them. Definitely the 12 steps have worked for me. It's been a big part of my life. It's still a big part of my life. I call my sponsor every single day. You just have to commit yourself. You have to truly mean it. Don't fake it to make it. Don't tell them what they want to hear. Do it for you. And if you can't do it for you, do it for closest person to you, your kid, your mom, your brother, your sister, whoever, until you come to that point where you can love yourself enough where you can get the help that you need.